If you're a career mode fan watching this video, you like me will be eagerly waiting for the FC26 release in a few weeks. Whether you're happy or disappointed with the new features that have been confirmed by EA, be grateful that we're at least getting an offline game mode to play. Because Konami, who were once EA's competitors, have completely given up with the PES community that supported them for many years while they were competing with EA. Today I'm going to be looking at their disastrous reveal for eFootball 2026 and the impact that this could potentially have with EA FC going forward. So what exactly happened that's made the eFootball community so annoyed? Well, the new reveal for Konami's next update in the 2025-26 season was released a couple of weeks ago, around about the time of the FC26 reveals coming out, and the one thing that the community wanted in that reveal was Master League, and there was absolutely no mention of that at all. No Master League, no edit mode, no Become a Legend, just the same old kind of dross that Konami have been added into their online mode year after year, just little changes that in reality nobody really cares about that much. There's a lot of anticipation for this reveal because there was so much nostalgia being placed in the marketing side of things from Konami. It's the 30th anniversary of PES, so that was something that they really led with in order to get people interested in the new game. It's already a little bit shady using PES's 30th anniversary as a marketing tool for eFootball, considering eFootball is what killed PES. Like, PES never made it to the 30th anniversary. It died like 5 years ago, so I feel like that's shady enough, but if you're going to use PES as a marketing tool, then surely you would bring back what made that game great in the first place, and that wasn't the online card collecting modes like they have now. It was Master League, it was Become a Legend, it was edit mode. But once again, there was absolutely no mention of this mode, not even that it's not coming out this year, but also there's no signs of when it's going to come out. And just to give you some context on why the community is so annoyed, the Pro Evolution Soccer series ended. The last game was 2021, which had no major improvements anyway. PES 2020 was the last real game that actually had things added into it. And when Konami announced eFootball, they gave a roadmap. So they released the online mode first, and they said that Master League was coming in 2023. And there is proof of this. I can show you a tweet right now. Now, obviously, as we all know, if you look at your calendar, it is not 2023. It is well past that point. So in 2023, 24, and now 25, there's been 3 updates in a row where Konami have just blatantly not given what they promised their community. And it's what the community want. Like, if you look on the replies to all of their announcement videos and content, it's all around Master League and how the community are disappointed that this isn't in the game. And while I'm talking about this, I'm going to put some concepts on screen, some that I've created and some that I've found online as well, like, and how this would work within the current UI as well. And I just think that this could really uplift the game that for me has gone completely stale the last couple of years. There's also been one of the, developers of eFootball talk about Master League previously as well. Last year in 2024, he said that the game mode was actually being ready for 1 year, but they weren't happy with the final product, so they haven't released it yet. So it was actually ready for when they announced that it was going to come out initially in 2023. That's what they're telling us. Yet 2 years later, it still isn't ready. That kind of makes no sense to me. Since 2020, the last time they improved Master League, they've had 5 years and they still haven't created a product worth giving to the community. Now, I would put my hands up and say, well, fair enough. At least they're not trying to take people's money for a product that isn't finished. But 5 years, what are they actually doing? And the irony is, when they initially launched eFootball a few years ago, it was a complete disaster. There was so many memes and videos about this game. Like, everyone unanimously agreed that it was a complete mess. And it took Konami a good year or so to actually fix the game and make it playable. And what we have now is actually a solid game. Like, the gameplay isn't bad. I would say by default, eFootball actually had better gameplay than FC25 if you don't include sliders and the modes and things. I actually think the gameplay is decent. So it's also frustrating when there is something there, but why, unless you're interested in playing a Ultimate Team Lite, why else would you play the game? There's no substance behind these games. You could make the perfect gameplay, but it means nothing when there's no mode behind it. And the reason why I get annoyed as well about the fact that for 5 years they haven't been able to develop this mode is because Konami are constantly releasing like these other game modes, like Strike Arena. They made like an anime mode, like a retro mode recently as well. They just had like so many different things added into the game that nobody asked for, nobody cares about. They've spent so much time and resources on these things instead of just putting everything into the one thing that the community have asked for. And like I say, they've not spoken about Master League. They haven't even told us like what the hold up is or anything. And you know why? I do actually think initially they were planning to release this game mode, but now I don't think they actually care. I have seen somewhere that the player base for eFootball is now 90%, want mobile players. Now, I don't think that was the case at the start, but I think the tide has shifted. I think this game has just completely turned into a mobile game, and that's where Konami's loyalties are. So Master League console players, I don't think they care anymore. And the reason why they haven't ruled it out or spoken about why Master League isn't in the game is because they're leading the community on. If they don't say anything, people will continue to play the game and just hope that Master League comes out next year, and then the year after that, and the year after that. So I advise people, if you are waiting for Master League, don't play the game, and especially don't spend money in the store buying packs or cards or whatever. Don't do it and tell them that you're still interested in the game if you're just holding out for something that they're just blatantly probably not going to release at this point. It just doesn't look like there's been any progress at all. We keep seeing rumors that in the database there's different things regarding Master League, but at the end of the day, they've really taken their community for a ride, and for me, I'm not going to play the game unless there's a Master League, and even then, who knows if it's going to be good or bad. It's just a shame, because I mean, even when Konami were competing with EA, PES wasn't as good as FIFA for probably like the last 10-15 years of their existence, but they were always a good option to go to. Like every few years I used to buy a PES game just to get a bit of a change from FIFA, and I always liked the extra bit of customization. Despite the lack of licenses, the edit mode really carried the game in my opinion, and it was a nice break from FIFA, like to be able to create your own teams, your own leagues, like really customize your game to the full extent. There was obviously Master League and Become a Legend had their own like different features as well that you could try out. So it's a real shame that that game just got completely canned for eFootball, and I just don't think it's worth it. And there really is potential there. Like I said multiple times in this video, the eFootball gameplay is decent. It's not bad. Like when they shifted to the Unreal Engine, if you put this gameplay in PES and maybe put sliders in, I think you've got a decent game there, and people would pay £20-30 or whatever it is for Master League every year, 100%. There's a lot of FC players who buy the game just for career mode. Now, if you could offer an alternative that was half the price just to play Master League, I think you could actually take a lot of the FC community if you make a good product. But I think Konami have missed their opportunity there, because for a few years the career mode community have been crying out for an alternative, for a bit of competition, and now EA, at least judging from the reveal, seem to be getting their act together a little bit. And I think now Konami have sacked off Master League for so long that they're going to be so many years behind. They already were, even at the end of the PES days, but now I think it's just going to be too much of a gap to fill. But even just as proof as to how there is a gap in the market for Master League, look at Football Life, for example, the modded game that's based on the foundations of PES 2021. Look how good Football Life looks. Now, don't get me wrong, they get around licenses because they are mods, they're not an official game, but the gameplay, the foundations of Master League, they are decent. Like, it's not terrible at all. So again, from a big company like Konami, the potential was there to make a good product, and they've just decided not to do it. Well, if you're a career mode player and you're, looking forward to FC26, you might be wondering, why should I care about this other game? Like, if I'm happy with FC, then why should I bother? I'll just tell you that competition is always a good thing. And with no Master League, it means that FC26 career mode is still the only offline football game mode on the market at the moment. You can maybe include Football Manager, but even they took a gap year recently. And even with their 26 game, you don't know how good that's going to be. And also, you can't play the game. So, like I say, if you want to play offline games in a realistic simulation setting, we're stuck with one option, and we've seen EA how easy it is for them to take their foot off the gas. And with no competition now from eFootball for at least for another year, with there not being a FIFA 2K game for a number of years, I'd imagine, with the FIFA license still being up for grabs and potentially might be going to EA, this does mean that EA, if they want, they can rip us off like they have the last few years. So I really hope that there is going to be some sort of competition just to push EA and create the best product for the FC career mode games at the very least. And aside from that, it's nice just to have another option to jump to if you want a little bit of a change, like what the PES games used to do. They used to just give you a little bit of a break and something new. But yeah, that's my rant on eFootball and Konami. Let me know in the comments what you think about the whole situation. If Master League did release, are you one of the people that would be willing to pay money to play it? And like I said at the start, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like to support the channel, help it grow further. Subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.